Hi, welcome to the video. So I'm going to talk about Matthew 19, those last few passages where Jesus mentions the first be last, the last be first. So here's a map as you can see, and then let's take a look at the actual verse first, and we'll go back to the map. Um, yeah, let's see, 28 to 31, I believe. Oops, my bad. There we go. And Jesus said to them, when he's speaking to his disciples, "Verily I say unto you," now keep in mind you had the camel going through the eye of a needle. We're not talking about a 2 meter camel going through a 2 millimeter hole. Okay, that's not what we're talking about here at all. It's just unbelievable that people really buy into that. But it's talking about a camel being basically it's going through a gate, and it's a long story, but it has to go through a gate. The owner has to be in front of it, and then they beat the camel in the back, but they have to strip its belongings. And so the idea there is basically giving everything up, and so we can get through to kingdom of heaven. And so when you read this passage, actually let's look at this a little bit here. Um, so the camel going through the eye needle here, and then continue where it then answered Peter. So it continued, the conversation continued. So if you watch my video, camel going through the eye of the needle, parts 1 and 2, I go into more detail of that. But there's a connection here. There is no disconnect. All right. So if you think it's going through a sewing needle, you have a serious problem. There's no connection here. All right. If you take that view. So anyway, Peter answered, said unto Jesus, "Behold, we have forsaken all, everything, and followed you. What shall we have therefore?" And Jesus said unto them, disciples, apostles, "Verily I say unto you, that you which have followed me in the regeneration of the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, and shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel." But they were expecting that to happen in their lifetime. When did it happen? My timeline has September 22nd, AD 73. All right. And everyone that forsake houses, these are all the Jews who came to Christ, forsake houses, or brethren, or brothers, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. All right. But many are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So basically, what happened was there are two different groups of Jews. You had some that were at the temple in Jerusalem, and then you had the others that were scattered throughout the Asia Minor. All right. So the ones that were scattered, they had gone to Petra first, and they settled there. That's where that judgment of 12 tribes of Israel took place. That's where the meeting of the Lord near took place. That's where the great white throne judgment took place. That's the marriage supper of the Lamb that took place. All right, it all took place there. So they were there first. All right, so I'm going to show you the timeline here. So those who had scattered, Peter wrote to the 5 churches in Asia, and John wrote to the 7 churches in Asia. So they had gathered first at Petra, and that's what the timeline is: time, times, and a half. Okay. Fortunately, we don't have anything documented of this, but I have studied the scriptures enough, and I'm piecing all this together, taking what Josephus said and piecing all this together, and that's what this is, right here you're looking at. I have everything backed up as much as I can with Josephus' writings, but it only goes so far, and it's kind of like geometry. You have to start with the given, and you work from there. All right. So, so there's time times and a half, 3.5 years, from the using the first day of the 1260-day prophecy, Revelation 12:6, is day 0. That's April 11th of AD 70. All right. So I go backwards, and so I get 3.5 years. I get to October 11th. But if I go with another method, I get September 23rd. I'm more inclined to think September 23rd, but that's irrelevant. So it's around that time when they have gathered. Remember 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, Church of Thessalonica, they were part of the churches that were scattered, all right? So they would have gone for the gathering, and eventually end up in Petra, all right? So they're there first. And they were the ones that prepared the place, Petra, for them. Who's them? The Jews who later on fled from the temple. They were last. All right. So, but many who are first will be last. That's these here, and the last first. Why is that? Because it's totally fair. The ones that laughed, they were the ones that endured to the end. They're the ones that went through the thick and thin to the nth degree. All right, they're the ones that I salute you. They're the ones that obeyed Christ all the way to the end. Where the people here, they fled the persecution early on in the 30s, 40s, and 50s of the first century. All right, so that's why they were there first, but they would be last for eternal life. All right, so they all gave up their homes, and it's like Jesus said here. So if you followed me, or forsake everyone who have forsaken their houses, brethren. This applies to all of them: sisters, father, mother, wife. So that applied to every one of them. So they left where they were in Asia Minor, Church of Thessalonica, they left there. Church of Corinth, they left there. So they all left, and we refer to it the second Exodus. All right. So if you click on this video link here, it'll help you. A gentleman by the name of Robert Cruikshank does a really good job explaining their perspective, the original audience that the Book of Revelation is written to. All right, so the people here were the first and they were last for eternal life, and these here were the last and they were the first to have eternal life, and it's only fair. Again, these are the ones that went through the thick and thin. So from that perspective, it's the right call by Jesus, totally. So again, the context here, those you have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man sat in the throne, shall sit in the 12 thrones. This is totally first century. All right. So that is the context here. All right. Not talking about anybody else. I've heard different theories out there. No, this is totally the people from 66 to 73 AD. The Jews who came to Christ, who were 100% Jew by blood, the house of Israel. So what I mean by that, take Josephus, for example, who documented all this. He was only 50% Jew. It did not apply to him. He's not part of the house of Israel. So, alrighty, so he would not have been part of this. So anyway, hope that makes sense, and hope you continue to enjoy your studies, and hope you find my material valuable, some degree, anyway. So I encourage you to open this off my Google Drive. You're very limited in terms of being able to zoom in, but if you bring your cursor up right hand corner and click on that download button, that will allow you to be able to after you download it, then that will allow you to be able to zoom in much better and be able to see, because there's a lot of information jam-packed into this 17 by 11 PDF here. So, but I have put thousands of hours in this, and what makes me unique compared to other people, I've learned compared to other Christians that I have a natural inclination towards hermeneutics, and that most Christians just don't. And so I realize I need to put that to good use, and then I can share it. So I'm not very eloquent when it comes to speaking, so that's why I have it all visual on paper on my PDF. So hopefully it's a tool that you can take advantage of. So, alrighty. All right. Well, anyway, you have an awesome day, and thank you very much.